Ladies and gentlemen, as the tributes continue en masse for Jerry Lynn, my guest at this time, certainly one of the most recognizable professional wrestlers on the planet today, multi-time NWA heavyweight champion who has actually an opportunity a little bit later on for the HoW championship. But Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, we're here to talk about not only a nemesis of yours, but a friend of yours in Jerry Lynn.
I think we could talk all night long, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
You're talking about a person, and I've said this publicly, so I'll say it again. I don't know of a better human being, not just professional wrestler, but I'm talking about a real-life human being, a man, than Jerry Lynn, somebody I respect and have for a multitude of years, somebody who's proven himself not to be outdone in the humanity department by certainly you or I or anybody else, but this is his night, and it's an honor to be here for him and with him.
Well, certainly, you know Jerry as well as anybody. You know, the highways and the byways, up and down the roads together. As he goes off, gets out of professional wrestling, sort of. I'm sure that we'll see Jerry Lynn again. What is the legacy as you look at Jerry Lynn? What is he leaving the business?
You know, I've said this too, Mick, and I think you'll probably concur. If I had a locker room with 20 guys and they were all Jerry Lynn, I don't think you could do better. So I think, to me anyway, the lasting memory that I'm going to have of Jerry Lynn is somebody who was the utmost professional, a leader, someone with the respect and someone with the experience that you could go to, someone that would tell you the truth and shoot straight with you. And when the bell rang, would get in the ring and give 150%, whether it was 5 people in that crowd or 5,000, because he understood what his job was, and he did it as best he could every single night. Jerry Lynn, you have been an inspiration not just to me, but to many people. We're going to miss you. I'm sure you're going to be hanging around. Otherwise, we'll have to come and find you. But soak it in and have a good time. And remember something you told me a while back, never forget to have fun. So as the door is kind of halfway open and you're leaning out, I would say the same thing to you, my friend. Uncle Jerry, tonight, have fun.
I am in total agreement with you. I mean, no matter what you're talking about, whether you're talking about the psychology of professional wrestling, whether you're talking about interacting with the crowd, whether you're talking about your move set in the ring, whether you're talking about attitude, how you carry yourself, the list goes on and on. Adam Pearce is the real deal, and that's to take nothing away from Benjamin Saylor. Benjamin has worked his ass off here in the upper Midwest. He's the standard bearer here in the Heavy On Wrestling promotion because he's earned it. He's good. He's a great wrestler. Pearce is hungry. He's angry. Benjamin Saylor, on the other hand, wants to prove that he belongs where he is at the top of the ladder here in Heavy On Wrestling.
Well, as you said, he's earned it. He's in this spot for a reason. He's going to be in for a fight tonight with Adam Pearce. Technically, both of these guys, don't get me wrong, Adam Pearce, he can fight, but technically, he is just as sound as anyone when it comes to technical wrestling. We're going to have a great, great match. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it's as many people know, Adam Pearce came out of some pretty good stock. Years ago when he broke into professional wrestling, he was a running mate of the likes of Colt Cabana and CM Punk. This guy, as we said, why the big boys, if you will, in the wrestling world haven't latched on to Adam Pearce, haven't seen the gold nugget that this guy is beyond me. Now, whether or not he's got enough to take the measure of a very proud Ben Saylor, that remains to be seen.
I've known Adam Pearce since he was like 20 or 21 years old when we first met. And from that time, I saw him in the ring and I saw what he could do. He's just a natural. I mean, he naturally is gifted to be a professional wrestler.
Well, noted wrestling promoter and historian Ed Hellier, very, very high on Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. Ed was there at the outset. He predicted great, great things for Adam Pearce. Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a second. Rob Page with what could have been the pop of the night right there. Referee Page.
Well, it's clear Page gets a better pop than Soltis. We know that for sure.
He should. So does a hamster, but that's another deal. Ben Saylor waiting patiently on the methodical Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. Pearce will not finesse you, although he can. He's got the technical skills. You mentioned that a little bit early on. Adam Pearce is just straight ahead. He's no nonsense. He's old school. He's a brute in that ring, let's be honest about it. And Ben Saylor has to call on every bit of his flashiness, his speed, and his finesse to take the measure of Pearce.
You could see right now they're kind of feeling each other out. Who's going to take the first move? What's going to happen here? You know, Saylor, he's not rushing into it. He's taking his time. There's a lot on the line for him. He is the, heavy on wrestling champion.
There we go. Wait a minute here. He's got the crowd going. It's very interesting, Scotty, that we talk about this because we want to be very careful here not to denigrate Ben Saylor. He is a great wrestler, and he is the heavy on wrestling champion. He's proven his worth. What we're saying here is that he's in the ring with a guy who has held the NWA championship many, many times. He's a 20-year veteran of this sport, give or take, and arguably one of the most underrated wrestlers in the profession. Having said that, Ben Saylor, if he steps it up a notch and he delivers what he can deliver tonight, Pearce might wind up getting knocked on his ass.
He could. He very well could. You know, you mentioned the chip on the shoulder. If that gets in the way, then we're looking at Ben Saylor's going to come out of here. He's still going to be the heavy on wrestling champion, and Adam Pearce is going to have to go back to try another day.
You've been up and down the roads with Adam Pearce over the years. You've been in the ring with him, against him. You know what he's capable of. Ben Saylor, on the other hand, for the past half dozen years or so, a steady climb up that ladder. He's beaten everybody that's been put in front of him, one way or another. I don't care where it's been, what the promotion, what the town. He's got that coveted heavy on wrestling championship. So this, as we said at the outset, it's going to be a classic.
It is. Saylor, he's great on his feet. He's quick. But as we saw there, he's great with the mat wrestling, too. That's what it takes to be a champion. Once again, that's why he is the champion. That's why he's earned where he's at. Pearce gets to the outside. He's going to rethink exactly what's going on. He's going to come up with a plan. He's going to get back in there, and we're going to see what happens this time.
Adam Pearce is one of these guys who knows where he's at all times, and that includes in the ring and on the ring apron, on the ring floor. He's confrontational with the crowd. He isn't afraid to go nose to nose with anybody, whether it's Section 7 or, he doesn't care. But he also has that one eye on the ring at all times. His ring presence, second to none, as far as I'm concerned.
He knows his way around there, and that's how you get to be good. You always have to know where you're at in the ring. Pearce right now outside. Where's Saylor going?
Well, Saylor's getting very frustrated. I don't blame him. He's here to wrestle. He's a fighting champion. If we're going to do this, Pearce, let's do it. Oh, what a shot! Ben Saylor unloading with those knife
two
edge.
Times, and now Pearce, he's backing down. Saylor, he wants a little bit more.
Pearce pushing. He's got Chris Dady. That could be serious. That could be. Oh, man. He pushed Chris Dady around like he was a sack of weed, and that's not easy to do, Scott.
That's not easy to do. Chris Dady, I don't know. He's right there at ringside. There's a reason that we're back here.
You better believe it. We're staying here. They've taken it to the outside. Referee kind of ineffectual here. I'm not sure that either Ben Saylor or Adam Pearce are going to be paying too much attention to the ref.
Yeah, they're not paying attention to Rob Page. I mean, why pay attention to him? Adam Pearce, he's just out there right now. Saylor's got him in the corner.
10 times off the noggin of Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. There's a reversal. Pearce might as well send a Pony Express message that time. Plenty of time for Saylor to regroup. Oh, spine buster.
There you go. Now we're going back old school. See, Adam Pearce, he gets in there. He knows his old school wrestling. He's one of the guys who probably sits at home. He studies these tapes. There's a reason that he's gotten to where he's at. He's been where he's been, and that he is, like I said, one of the best.
Ben Saylor trying to shake the cobwebs. When Ben Saylor gets rolling, if there's a modern era in professional wrestling, talking about the high-flying maneuvers, the Hurricane Ranas, the planches, what have you, Ben Saylor is going to show you more in 5 minutes than a lot of pros will in 5 years.
Oh, absolutely.
He's that good.
Absolutely is. You know, and right now, Pearce, this is how Pearce works, though. He's methodical when he does stuff. You know, that big chop right there, but Pearce, you see, he takes his time. He's thinking ahead. He's probably already knows 4 or 5 steps ahead of where he wants to be in the next minute or so.
The Heavy on Wrestling Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Scrap Iron Adam Pearce and Ben Saylor from a jam-packed convention center in Minneapolis. And what I was told, Scotty, haven't verified this yet, they had 750 seats available. The crowd is estimated at 900. So that shows you testimony to not only Jerry Lynn, but to all the wrestlers on this show.
Yeah, these people, they came out because of Jerry Lynn. They came out because they knew, based off the card that they saw, they were going to see some fantastic action. Guaranteed, no one is leaving here disappointed tonight.
You know, I just looked at that forearm shot across the sternum from Adam Pearce, and I mean, it came from left field, had that incredible whiplash effect, and this guy is just, he is so intense in that ring. What can Saylor do to counteract Adam Pearce? Watch this now. Vertical suplex, all the blood rushing to the head of Ben Saylor. Oh!
Big suplex, and there you go. Like you said, the blood runs to the head. You kind of lose where you're at in there. So now what's happening is Ben Saylor, he's got to try to catch his breath. He's got to try to figure out where he's at and what he can do to get out of this situation. Pearce, the methodical guy he is just going to keep going after him and going after him, slow and steady, just taking him apart.
Boot to the throat. Ben Saylor giving up about, I suppose 30, 40 pounds to Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. Whipped off the ropes. Wait a minute, sunset flip attempt here. Does he have enough momentum? He does. Pearce goes over the top, count of 2. Wow.
Oh, big clothesline by Pearce. You know, if you ever stood next to Adam Pearce, he is a big guy. I mean, he's just, you get next to him and think, you know, when we're sitting back here, a lot of times we take for granted the size of some of these guys. But Pearce, he's put together, I mean, from tip to tail, I mean, he has got what it takes.
He is a big man. There's 258 pounds of Adam Pearce, and I'll tell you what, every one of them means something. Every one of them is utilized in his arsenal to get the job done. Look at him, and again, kind of taking off his game a little bit from the crowd at ringside, giving Ben Saylor some valuable breathing time here. Oh! That midsection, those intestines right across that turnbuckle.
What do you guys think of him?
And what Saylor's setting him up for, he's going to climb the ropes. Is he going to go for a big suplex here, Karch?
Saylor can do so much. He's capable of so many maneuvers. You never know what you're going to see from Saylor. Watch. Oh, this is uncharted territory right here. This is high risk. Oh my God.
Whoa! Huge superplex off that top rope. Both guys down right now. That right there, that's the impact, Karch. You think that the person delivering the suplex doesn't take a little bit of toll on his body right there? Guaranteed right now, Saylor's trying to catch his breath. Yes, it affects Adam Pearce even more than it does Saylor, but both guys need to recover and recover quick if they want to get the upper hand here.
Well, the referee is putting the count on both wrestlers, and of course, if it ends up in a double countout, Ben Saylor walks out of the ring still the Heavy on Wrestling champion.
Yeah, and the double countout, I mean, that's just one stipulation that if that happens, he does leave. I don't think either guy wants that to happen tonight. One guy, you know, wants to say to the other, I want to prove to you that I'm the better man.
Oh! Face planted him. Well, Saylor responds. Watch this now. Look at Saylor. Look at the technique. 2. Wow. That's what I'm talking about, the fluidity, the precision, the smoothness of Ben Saylor. Little close to the ropes that time. Saylor continued to hold that gut wrench from behind. Oh, almost caught the referee, Rob Page, and that would have been ugly. Oh, no! Oh, Rob Page!
I was just going to say that Rob Page is lucky that there wasn't a follow-through right there by Adam Pearce, but once again, wrong place, wrong time, Rob Page. Now, Rob Page is lucky if he's 130 pounds.
He absolutely was decimated by the flying Ben Saylor. Oh, look at Pearce now. Over the top. Look at both these men jockeying for position. The referee is out of it. In for the, come on, nobody there.
There's nobody there to make the call. Saylor's got Pearce right where he wants him.
Well, this is not a good thing. This is not a good thing at all. Oh, wait a minute, Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce with that length of chain. This is ugly. The referee is knocked unconscious here, and Pearce has got a length of chain in his hand. He missed wildly, drop kick.
Oh, great drop kick by Saylor.
But again, Rob Page, oh, Saylor. Saylor's got the chain. The referee still has not come to from the shot that he took inadvertently.
Is he going to use the chain?
From Vince, he did! He clocked Pearce. He clocked him. Count of one. He got
Oh,
it.
Saylor gets the win and retains the Heavy on Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Adam Pearce, Scrap Iron, is the guy that brought the chain into play. Referee Rob Page knocked silly